Welcome to PSYCOW. I'm Kyle.
And I'm Stacy.
And this week we have the very amazing, very talented Pollyanna McIntosh.
And I'd like to add very beautiful.
Yeah, but if I said it, it'd been creepy.
And it's less creepy coming from a girl.
Not at all. You may know her from The Woman, Offspring, Exam, all kinds. Headspace. What else?
Bats.
Bats. Human Harvest. Possibly.
Land of the Lost.
Yeah, she's in a lot of stuff. She's amazing. Check her out. If you've never heard of The Woman, then you have never listened to one of our shows because we literally talk about it every single show.
Every day of my life. That's not true.
I'm
not that creepy.
It's so bad that I've got like all my friends loving the movie, which is I guess it's not bad. It's just that shows how much I talk about that movie.
Well, yeah.
This is obviously our Christmas special. So if you stay after the Pollyanna interview, we will reveal the winners of the Christmas with the Woman giveaway, where
Yay!
the winners will get the lawnmower blade and the vinyl record and copies of the DVD. Because we love the movie, we want to spread it all around wherever it is they're getting shipped to.
Easy.
And then stay after that, and we have a special PSYCOW Bloody Bits, the Christmas special, which is actually the last episode of Bloody Bits. So, yeah, lots of going on. So, you got anything else, Stacy?
That's all I got.
Without further ado, here's PSYCOW with Pollyanna McIntosh. Thank you so much for doing this.
Hello. You're welcome. Andrew was clearly keen to have us talk, so I was like, well, now I've got to meet these guys. What's all this about?
Right. He is very, I guess, into that. We are very into the woman.
I know. Where are you guys from? Where are you calling from?
I'm unfortunately in South Carolina.
I'm in Ohio.
That's terrible. You're in Ohio? Wow, this is a very modern moment we're all having together here.
Right. But we have so many questions for you, if you don't mind answering them for us.
Of course. I'm going to put in my little earphones. I hope it's quiet enough here for you, because I'm in the middle of Soho. I couldn't get home.
Oh, that's no problem.
So let me put my earphones in a little minute. You should just come up to North Carolina, and then you'll live a happy and long life.
I'm going to end up moving to San Diego. But we're going to.
Oh, okay.
So I'll be in North Carolina in like a year to go to film school, and then I'm going to San Diego for the rest of my life.
You're just moving bit by bit.
Right. I'm slowly getting there. I've moved up from Florida to Georgia to South Carolina.
You're just becoming more and more sophisticated, aren't you?
Right. I gotta live in different areas.
So you two are crazy about the woman. That just means you're crazy then.
We're obsessed with the woman, but I mean, we're pretty much obsessed with everything to do with the woman. Like, we love all your movies. We love everything Modern Cinema does. I mean, so we're like big fans of everything.
Well, that's fantastic. They're really doing it for you.
Yes.
Yes.
So let's jump into questioning, because I would love to pick your brain.
Yeah.
So what got you into modeling and acting?
Gosh, life, I suppose. I've just pulled these bloody earphones out of my head because it's actually worse to hear you with them. Well, when I was very little, when I was 9 years old, my mum sent me to an after-school kind of acting club thing because I was really hyperactive and I just made too much noise at home. So she thought she'd pay someone else to deal with me.
Right.
And that was just really fun, and I just really liked telling stories, so I've stayed with it ever since, you know. I think just seeing really great movies growing up is what's really inspired me, you know, just feeling that effect of somebody else relating to you in your specific condition as a human being, you know.
Right. Were you?
And that's what attracts me to stuff.
Were you a horror fan when you were growing up, or did you watch a little bit of everything?
I watched a little bit of everything. My parents were very strict about what I could and couldn't watch. So, like, you know, PGs. We weren't. Well, you have different rating systems, but you know, when my friends were being allowed to watch movies for like 15-year-olds, I was not literally allowed to watch a 15 until I was 15.
Right.
So I remember the first horror film I ever saw was staying over at my friend Sasha's house, and her family was a bit more lax. And I got to watch some hideous movie called The Imp.
What was that?
You know what that is? The Imp.
I do know what that is.
fucking awful. Fucking terrifying. So I watched that, and then I watched It, also with Naughty Sasha, and I was just absolutely scared shitless about clans and impish things. And then I think the first really big one that's like stayed, held my respect as a grown-up of sorts, was probably The Shining.
Yep. You and Stacy both, because Stacy if
right.
Woman came out, did you say that Stacy was Shining was your favorite movie until The Woman came out?
The Exorcist, actually.
Oh, my bad. See?
Yeah, that's alright.
Oh God, The Exorcist, yes. I've never seen that.
You've never seen The Exorcist?
I've seen The Exorcist 2, I think, the one with all the medical instruments, where the woman
no.
crawls on the ceiling.
You've seen
that was enough for me.
You've seen the cop out.
You've seen the worst one.
Really? Oh no. Well, I remember seeing The Omen when I was really young. Actually, I have a scar on my thigh from slicing myself with a carving knife whilst watching The Omen by mistake.
Oh my God.
Both watching The Omen by mistake and carving my thigh by mistake. But I was so nervous watching it, I was running this massive knife over my jeans, like, in my nervous anxiety.
Wow.
It sliced right through to my thigh.
Okay,
my sister was using this massive carving knife to cut her knitting right next to me.
I have never been that scared. Did you first meet Andrew?
I was clearly not a very clever child. What else happens when you rub a knife over your leg for any length of time?
Did you first meet Andrew when you were doing Headspace, when you auditioned for Headspace?
Yeah, I just moved to LA, and my only acting agent that I had was connected to my model agency, Wilhelmina in New York, and so they were like my lifeline to the acting business in America. They were my first lifeline, and I was now living in LA and looking for an agent there, and no fucker would see me. And lo and behold, Wilhelmina called up. Wilhelmina Theatrical. And say, you've got this audition for this. And he went to Emerson, and oh my goodness, you must come and see him.
Right.
And I thought, shit, well, I don't want them to think that I'm not devoted. So I flew all the way to New York for this audition. And I thought, well, I won't get it. It's fine. I don't need to worry about going to New York, but I want to make sure they know I'm keen.
Right.
And then I got it. I remember auditioning for him. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was the most ridiculous scene.
Which scene was it?
It's that one where they turn in. It's that one where he's Christopher Denham's character. The lead is coming at his best mate and his best mate's girlfriend, who's me, Stacey, with a knife, and he's all haunted and freaked out. And then we turn into monsters. Do you remember?
Right. So your first scene you ever had to do, you had to play a monster.
My first ever American audition. I had to go in and pretend to be a girl turning into a monster.
Well, I guess it could be...
What's that?
It could be worse. You could be a dog girl.
It could be a dog girl.
Yeah, Alexa.
Let's see what tomorrow brings.
I think Alexa told us her first audition was doing the dog girl socket from The Woman.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Bless her. She was fantastic.
Yes.
But funnily enough, that's the only time I've ever actually auditioned for Andrew. Because just from doing that ridiculous audition and then shooting Headspace and getting to know each other, he cast me in Offspring, which then led to The Woman happening. So I guess I was pretty monstrous that day.
Right.
What about the 9 Lives of Mara? It seems like an impossible movie to find. Does it exist out there?
Well, that's because one of the producers is a complete dick. And I don't normally say this about people because normally I get on very well with everyone, but he's an absolute penis. And and he's fighting with the other 2 lovely producers over the rights. And it's holding the bloody thing up, so nobody's getting any money. And everyone's just pouring it into legal fees. It's absolutely ridiculous. But it's a great little movie, and it did really well on the festival circuit. People seem to like it. And that was in LA. That was like my second ever American movie, I think. And I went and auditioned for that 3 times, I think.
Wow.
And then I got the job. And then this asshole producer tried to tell the director and me that someone else was going to do the job because he wanted her to do it because she was Cameron Diaz's best mate.
Yeah, I wouldn't watch it if it was her.
Oh, well, yeah, no, it was very weird. And then everyone else said, no, of course she's not doing it, because this is who we've hired, and this is who we want, and it's doing it. But, because you got me at a very loose lips moment. That's what happens with over-the-phone interviews.
Right.
So, yeah, but it was a good little movie to make, so I hope that at some point someone else will get to see it, because it's kind of shut it away at the moment.
Right, we both were looking for it.
2004.
Right.
Hmm?
We both, yeah.
I don't know if I have a copy still.
So how did you prepare to do a Russian role when you were in Bats, Human Harvest? I mean, a Russian's kind of a hard accent to learn. Did you just fall into it easily?
You poor bastards, you didn't have to watch Bats, did you?
Oh, we watched everything.
Oh, God, isn't Bats Human Harvest one of the worst movies you've ever seen in your whole life?
Top 20.
It's absolutely
It's in there.
atrocious.
It's in there.
It's top 20.
Terrible. It's pretty fucking shocking. It's actually kind of funny just for that, just for the bats themselves.
Right, I couldn't watch a movie that was, I couldn't relate to it because I can relate to a horror movie where there's like a killer, but I don't know, killer bats to me really don't threaten me too much.
Well, not when they look like that as well. They look like little, like anorexic gremlins or something that have fallen into a swamp. I'm still really good friends with David Chokachi, who plays Wolf or whatever the hell his name is in it. And we shot it in Bulgaria for a month, and it was great fun. But I really, in my naivety, thought that I'd be working with bats, and I was so excited.
Did you have to deal with a lot of CGI bats?
Yeah. Well, they hired this guy who runs a CGI company to direct it.
Mm-hmm.
So he was all about the CGI, and it's quite funny. I actually found someone on Twitter who was describing that movie moment by moment about how awful it was, and it was the most fun I've ever had on Twitter, just listening to her slagging it off mercilessly, because it's so true. I don't know, how do I prepare for a Russian role? I just kind of listen to a lot of stuff. I just kind of think of Russian people and characters that I've known, and just, that's how I go with it. And hopefully it wasn't too awful. It's just really fun to do, isn't it? And funnily enough, like Nine Lives of Mara, I played Eastern European as well. But then we dubbed the whole thing over with my English accent, because they wanted to sell it worldwide, and they felt it wasn't going to be, as appealing.
Now, in The Offspring, it's obviously when the woman was first introduced. What drew you to the role as the woman?
Well, Offspring, the book, was so vividly written. It was just a brilliant read, and I'd never read a horror book before, because I'm a great big pussy, in case you hadn't already gathered that. and I just couldn't put it down, and the insight into her character was so intensely felt. I was just completely hooked. I thought, yeah. And also, I think the appeal of sort of a female horror icon was quite strong as well for me, I'd never want to be doing this kind of running away screaming roles. I just can't be asked.
Right. Well, Andrew said he kept you in mind.
I don't think that's enough of a character. What's that?
Andrew said he kept you in mind for the woman in The Offspring. Were you excited to learn that he was
no. Yeah, when we first originally talked about Offspring, Andrew said, and I really am interested in creating like a female horror icon with this character. I think she's really strong. So then we started shooting it, and I was supposed to die at the end of Offspring. She does die in the book.
Right.
And then halfway through shooting, they were like, oh, I don't know, you're kind of having too much fun. We don't think we should kill you. A friend of Andrew's had the idea to keep it alive and to keep the option for something to happen afterwards. And Andrew went with it. And I was, quite happy not to die. And so we always intended from sort of halfway through shooting it that something, could now happen from it afterwards. But it wasn't a sure thing. And then when Jack Ketchum, when Dallas watched Offspring, he was like, oh my goodness, this is, I've just loved this character, the way she was on screen. And he sent me the most lovely email about it. And the next thing I know, he and Andrew are talking to Lucky, and Lucky watches the film, and he's like, yeah, I'm willing to take that character and take, Polly further into the next thing. And so Lucky and Ketchum wrote it for me. And I sort of sent them odd little emails here and there saying, what if this happened, and what if she did this? None of which is in the movie. But, but I got really into it. And they were saying, watch this movie and, check this out. And then when I got the script and the book, I just couldn't believe what they'd written. And I thought, am I really going to have to do this? This is awful. I can't be trained up for a whole fucking movie.
You did. You killed it, though. You did so well.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, I was so into it, long before I came to set. Once I thought the script was excellent, obviously, and loved the book too. And once Lucky and I started talking, it was just like a love affair, in the best possible way, because no hearts will ever be broken.
Right.
And we just talked a lot about, how we saw it. And Lucky and I, it's almost like we were telepathically sending pictures from our minds across the ocean, because I was in London at the time, and we just, down to honestly, like shot by shot practically, we would find ourselves with the same idea. So it was really weird. It was a very cool collaboration.
Now,
of respect for him.
Well, Lucky definitely seems like the kind of director that knows exactly what he wants. Is he easy to work with, or is he kind of like the kind of guy that you have to keep doing the take until you get it exactly right?
No, Lucky is like a real collaborator. It's not like he goes in there saying, he's not like somebody like, Roman Polanski, who knows exactly what he wants in every moment from the actor. And you can't argue with him. And that's fine, it's Roman Polanski. He makes amazing movies, but just as an example, he's very different from that. Lucky says that his work is done when he's cast the right person, because he always casts the right person. So once you're in there and you're in the atmosphere of it, and especially since Lucky and I had talked for 4 months, on email and phone about how this was going to come together, and not just my character, but like everything. I had absolute faith in what I was going to bring to it, and sometimes you're kind of looking to the director for assurance, but it was just a very organic thing, and I sound like a really wanky actor, but it was a very organic thing. And then we would do 1 take, sometimes we would do 3 takes other times, but it was rarely more. I don't remember it ever being more than 3. We were just very in tune, And then people like Sean Bridges and Angela Bettis bring their thing to it, and it was very intensely real when we were shooting. And Lucky was just loving it, And occasionally he'd give you something specific, but it always made sense,
What's it like working with
it's
Angela?
mostly just flowing. I adore her so much. She's exactly the kind of actor I like, same as Sean, in that she wants to directly play with you in the moment, and it's not just eye contact, it's all there, and it's really happening between you. Because some actors and some actors are very good, have a different way of working, and they don't actually want to engage with you entirely in the moment. They want to kind of hold themselves in their performance a bit. But with her and with Sean, it was just a lot of back and forth. It was really nice, and that's what I love about it,
Right.
I just love fucking around with people.
Yeah.
I'm playing with them. That's what I like, and that's what I hope to continue doing, because those are the moments I think that work best in film, that I watch anyway. It's the connection. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Right.
Was the novel for the woman basically directly from the script?
Please excuse me, by the way, I'm eating whilst I'm talking to you, but
Oh, you're fine.
yeah, I'm having like a falafel sandwich. But it's kind of fitting as you're the woman that you should always be eating something, right? So they wrote the script and the novel at the same time, and kind of it was like Jack Ketchum was head boy on the book and Lucky was head boy on the script, But it was all collaboration, so it was written simultaneously. So they're basically the same. It's just that the book obviously is written for a reader, and the film is written for for all the senses. Well, not all of them, that would be weird, but, you know, and
Right.
Right.
Were some of
you
the
can't eat the film. Don't try and eat the film. Okay? Or smell it. It would be weird.
were some of the scenes really hard to do in The Woman?
I know that, like, a lot of it on paper was harder originally think about doing. And I won't say what in case people haven't seen it, but a killing scene that I do was exhausting because we spent about 11 hours, and a lot of it isn't in the film. But I was being strangled for about 9 hours one day by Sean, and it was fucking tiring. Especially when he had a watch on, and neither of us realised that, like, his watch was, like, tearing up my neck. So that was difficult in that sense, and also difficult because technically there was a lot going on, and so there was a lot of frustrations for a lot of different parts of crew who were working very hard and trying to make it the best it could be. When you've got days like that with stunts and acting and props and gore and, you know, location and lights, natural lights, you know, it's always going to be challenging. Probably the hardest scene to watch was certainly not the hardest scene to film. You know, the rape scene was absolutely, it was something that was very important to me, that it went the way that I felt it should and had the impact that I felt it could have, and that Lucky was in the same, you know, was in the same mode. So I knew exactly what the message was going to be, and that kind of covered any discomfort that I would have had otherwise, because I feel those things are very important to be handled correctly. And it was just close that, and I was just concerned for Sean, really, because he has to do a lot more in the headspace of his character. That's emotionally degrading for him than it is for mine. So I kind of had a safety net where I was inside of the woman, and for her, that's, you know, she was in a place of strength. So it wasn't hard for me to do. But I did feel for Sean, and I kind of just wanted to give him a little hug.
Right. Andrew told us that he wanted to make a whole series of them, like you kind of mentioned before. Would you be down to be in all the movies? Reprise the role as the woman?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a verbal contract, but obviously it depends on how the story goes. But with that team, yeah, totally. I'd love to. I think as long as they're interesting and people want to see them, then yeah, if we could make some more great movies, then I'd be well up for it.
You'll have at least two.
I don't think anybody wants to make a bunch of tired old sequels, but
right.
So I'm not that worried.
Well, you'd have at least two diehard fans because we are obsessed with, you know, the whole franchise.
Thank you. You can come to the Woman 55.
Yes.
We'll be there. We might be
like on a Zimmer frame.
Yeah, we might be like 60 years old, but we'll be there.
Walkers and canes, yeah, we're walking in. We saw this movie back in 2011.
That's right.
What happens? So when the credits roll, right before that happens, the Woman, Socket, Shyla, and Peg all walk off. What happens?
Don't be telling people.
Not that, well, they haven't seen.
What are you doing?
We've pitched this movie every single episode. It didn't matter who we talked to. We've talked about the Woman, so people know by now to watch it. What happens after that, in your opinion?
Then the prop plastic heart gets lost by Alexa, and she gets very concerned that she has done wrong, even though she has just made the most beautiful scene by staying on her hands and knees through thick, thorny bushes. And she's concerned because she's lost the plastic heart. That's what happens. And then I take my nasty ass nails off and have a pint of beer.
That's a perfect ending.
Beyond that, well, that's for the...
Yes.
What's that?
So the woman drinks a beer. It's perfect. Recently you got involved with the Famous Joe project. What was it like working with Eli Rory?
I love him so much. If he wasn't a gay man, he would be my pet. He's fantastic. I'm so proud of that man. I think he's made the most incredible film. It has such an emotional impact, that movie. And and it's about a subject which, you know, I think we can all relate to, which is kind of wanting a better life and coming to the big city and trying to find yourself and figure out who the hell you are. And for Joe, he's gay and he's not come out yet.
Right.
And he comes to LA, and it all goes cuckoo, and I play his cokehead mate who goes through rehab towards the end. And I got to be blonde. Yay! And and I just think it's a really beautiful movie, and it's been well received at, you know, film festivals, and I just hope it finds a home. Did you guys see it by any chance?
I did not, but I know he made it out to Outfest. I was part of his Kickstarter that he started.
Oh, cool.
And I tried to keep in contact with him, but I know he did say they made it out to Outfest, which I was really happy for him.
And I live
thank you, sir. That's awesome that you did that.
No problem.
I live in an area where nothing cool comes to me, so I have to really work hard to find it. So, but I will see it.
It's like so much kind of documentary footage in it, and like all different mediums like cell phone and, you know, YouTube stuff and like regular cameras, and, you know, it kind of sounds naff the way I'm describing it, like this kind of youth film, you know, but it's just a very modern kind of film, and it's absolutely beautiful.
Right.
And Joey Capone, who plays the lead, is actually a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine. And we've done 3 movies together now. And I was just at a massive gallery party of a mate of mine, and I was rapping, and I was on the drums, and I was being a total, like, ridiculous chick that night. I was having so much fun. And because I was amongst, you know, a whole bunch of loonies. And Eli was there, and he just saw me, like, gabbing about like some sort of, I thought I was in a great fucking Gatsby or something. And he speaks to Joey, who's already attached to the film, a couple of days later, and he says, "Oh my God, I think I found the girl who should play Nova. I think she, like, is Nova." And can I just say, I was not on cocaine. And he said, "Oh my God, and her name is Pollyanna, can you believe it?" And Joey's like, "Hang on a minute, her name's Pollyanna." He's like, "Yeah, but I don't think she's an actress. I think she's like a," what did he say? "I think she's like a privately funded fashion designer / novelist or something." and because he just, you know, thought I was some society chick or something. And Joey goes, "Don't be silly, she's an actress and I know her, and you should definitely meet with her, and here's her email address." So I got the most complimentary email about how I should be in his movie, and I was like, hell yeah. After I read the script.
Well, that's awesome that you guys met that way. That is pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's so nice.
What about Him Indoors? I know that just hit some festivals over in the UK, and you worked with Paul Davis, who is a huge horror fan. What was it like working with him?
He was super. He's a big giant of a man, and he's lovely. He is a total movie-aholic. He's got all these great props and stuff, and he's a journalist, and he made that Beware the Moon documentary about American Werewolf in London, which ended up on the DVD extras and won some awards and stuff. He is a massive John Landis fan, obviously. Oh God, the waitress getting operatic. Wow. And Paul was actually in Burke and Hare, which I was in, which was directed by John, and he had met me then, and then he had seen The Woman, and he sent an email to my agent asking if I would consider doing this short. And Reece Shearsmith was doing it, who, I don't know if you guys know, but I'm a massive fan of his. He was in a show here called The League of Gentlemen, and also Psychoville, which if you guys can get on DVD, it will blow your mind. And seriously, it's so good. And he co-wrote and was in these 2 TV series. And they're both comedy, and they're both very dark, and there's some sort of horror elements to them. And I just love him. I just love what he does. And I couldn't believe that he was doing it. So he was also in Burke and Hare, which is how Paul got to him originally. And And so I read the script and I just loved it and I was so excited. And then, I gave Paul some little bits and bobs that I wanted to sort of add to her character. And then we just rolled for 2 days. He shot and I just shot one of them. And the most of the film was me and Reese. And I got to work with one of my comedy heroes. It was so much fun.
That's awesome.
You talked about Burke and Hare, and that movie was hilarious. And I hadn't heard of it until recently. What was it like working with like Tim Curry and Tim Wilkinson and Christopher Lee?
Oh my God, it was such an amazing cast, wasn't it? It was so ridiculous.
Every time a new shot would come up, I'm like, holy shit, this person's in it too. I mean, it was shot after shot of like every actor known to man that was good.
Yeah. Can you imagine the table read on that? I was like,
right.
I was wetting myself. I was practically falling off my chair. Every time somebody read something, I was just like, oh my God.
Especially Tim Curry. Tim Curry's voice.
I know, he's so sexy in Rocky Horror Show.
Right.
It's ridiculous. A man in underwear can look that menacingly sexy. I think he's a very peculiar talent.
Right.
And I think he should be like, I don't know, I think he should have his own Vegas show or something.
He deserves a lot more credit than he gets, cause, especially these days. He's not in very much anymore, I guess. But Tim Curry scarred me as a child when I saw it. Like, when you watch that movie now, it's really corny, but he scarred me as a kid. Every time I go by his sewer, to this day, I always think
Me too.
Yeah, I think of beat, Richie.
I can't step over those sewer things.
Yeah, I don't do it either. And I'm not afraid of clowns, I'm just afraid of Tim Curry. The Exam was another movie, and actually my mom watched that one with me, and she never watches movies with me because she knows I watch horror movies.
Well,
but
I'm not surprised.
She loved that movie though. She called me today talking. She called me today talking about it, how genius it was, and I had to get an argument with her like, no, it ended like this because I had to tell her the whole ending. But I didn't expect you to get a little.
You and telling people endings.
Well, no, she watched it with me. She watched it with me. She didn't understand the ending. I love doing that. What were your thoughts when you read this?
Oh, Kyle's mom. What do you like, Kyle's mom? She was just having a little snooze. She was like, yes, it's very nice, honey.
Yeah, I know. She's just messing with me. She just likes to talk nice. But what were your thoughts when you read the script?
All these bloody movies.
I
thought it was one of the best scripts I'd read that at the time. It was really strong, and not since Sex and Death 101 had I read such a well-rounded script, I thought. So, I mean, not that it's the same kind of movie as that at all. It's a completely different kind of movie. And it was just really, really smart, and I thought, wow, this is going to have to be directed within an inch of its life, for it to work, because we're always in the room, all of us in the room at the same time, and it can't be boring, but it can't also be self-consciously shot, because it's very simple, and it's about dialogue, and it's about character, and it's about, the riddle, and the tension of it. And, Stuart had not directed before, but I was really excited to work with him, because I thought he was a great writer. And that was the first job I did back in the UK after I'd been living in LA for 5 years or something. So it was really exciting to also work in my own culture again,
Right.
And I think we did a good job, man. But, it's on in the theatre here now.
Oh, I loved that. I thought it was excellent.
Thank you. Me too. I'm still in touch with them. One of the producer on Exam was one of the producers on The King's Speech.
Right.
Funnily enough. Gareth Unwin. I'm still in touch with him, and I'm in touch with the writer-director as well, Stuart Hazeldine, who is like a massive imagery worker of action scripts. He does everything. So, it was a cool experience.
Well,
I think people enjoy that movie.
Well, you mentioned Sex and Death 101. What was it like working with Patton Oswalt? Because I know Stacey and I are huge fans of his.
Oh my God, you have to go on YouTube and watch an interview that we did together in Austin.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
We did.
He was so drunk.
That's what Stacey said. She's like, I
How
think they're
fucking
drunk
are we?
Oh, it's amazing. I love it.
So many women underneath that video are like, that's not Winona Ryder. Who's that girl? And they're also like making all these bitchy comments about how what's up with her and Simon Baker? Yeah, they look awfully cozy. What's up with that?
Oh. Got
And I'm like, we were all pissed as fuck. That's why. That was
It's
such
so
a laugh.
good. There was something that Patton said you guys are going to do. I know you're just joking, but there
Oh,
was
yeah.
some TV show or something you were going to make up about cops or something.
He was going to call it Fatty and the Hot Scottish Broad.
Yeah.
I was like, hell yeah. Yeah, I'd do that. I think he's fantastic.
Yeah, we love
His
him.
stand-up is also brilliant. He's a very intelligent man. We also did a radio show together. We went on Get This. You know, no, I'm not going to remember his name. This is so embarrassing. Who's the guy from the Sex Pistols that had that radio show on Indie 103.1?
I'm not sure.
I have
It's
no
not
idea.
Sid Vicious.
Right, that's the
It's
only one.
obviously not Johnny Rotten.
Right, those are the only two that I know. I never listened to punk too much.
It's the not as attractive one. The other one, the bigger one, the one who ended up on the radio. Oh, that made me laugh. He's just a very intelligent man, and he really knows his food and his wine. So, we went to the best restaurant in Austin, and we had our own frickin' menus with our names on them, and we got given all this wine, and we just got absolutely sloshed. And then we piled into this interview truck onto this sofa, and acted like a bunch of children. It's a typical night for me, but I'm sure everyone else was shocked.
It's lovely. I love it.
Oh, cheers. Yeah, so that was a good laugh. Because, Anna and I don't actually have any scenes in the movie
Right.
together. It's just me and, what's his name? And Simon Baker.
Right.
Yeah. And we have a threesome. It's well worth watching.
I've seen it. I've seen it a couple times.
Mm.
What's in the future for you? What movies are you working on next?
Well, there's three things. One, I just went in on last week, and apparently, blah, 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 I'm going in again, so it's looking very good. So obviously I can't talk about that because I haven't got it yet.
Right.
But apparently I'm going in next week for chemistry tests with the guy. And then there's a script I've just been sent, which I was about 3 pages into when you guys called, and it looks quite interesting, and it's actually a horror. So I can't talk about that.
Right.
I'm finished reading the script, so I don't know if I'm going to take it. And then I just got an email from Lucky a couple of days ago saying this producer wanted to get hold of me. So I don't know what that's about, but it looks like it would be a so far.
Right.
So I don't want to talk about that because I don't know what it is yet. Rest assured, I will be back doing something.
Yeah.
Not over yet.
And we will be there.
And then I've got a lot of TV stuff coming out here. So I've got a lot of BBC. I've got 2 BBC comedies and a BBC drama. One I'm guesting in the drama and playing the female lead in both the comedies.
Excellent.
So I think somebody other than myself has actually decided to find me funny, which is a shock. So unfortunately, they're unleashing it onto the British public in January. So now I'll have to find out whether I really actually can be funny or not. And it's quite a terrifying thought, quite a terrifying challenge. So we'll see. But one of them's with Brian Cox, who I like very much, who I'm sure you guys know all about.
Right. Oh yeah. Very talented.
So I get to slag him off and tell him he's an idiot throughout this series, which is quite fun. I really enjoy telling Brian he's an idiot because he does the best fuck you face I've ever seen.
Well, his face always looks like that, though. It's always just like
Yeah.
you.
You should see him when he's doing an impression of a raccoon because it's a very fine impression. Just the most brilliant impression of a shocked raccoon.
Well, the last thing we like to do on the show is we like to ask every guest we have 8 questions, basically pertaining to the horror genre. And the first one is, what is the scariest movie of all time?
The Devil Wears Prada, because it's so fucking misogynistic and sexist, I can't bear it.
Such an awesome...
Oh, the best answer yet, right there.
That movie can go and
Go ahead.
take a very long walk off a short pier. My career over.
What's the best movie you've seen in the last 5 years?
I just saw a movie at the BFI called The Wall, and it's German, and it's absolutely terrifying and liberating all at once. And it's got that wonderful actress from The Lives of Others in it. And I can't tell you the name of the director because I don't know him well enough to remember because it's German. But it's coming out in springtime in Europe, and hopefully will hit America around the same time. And it's like nothing you've ever seen before. It's basically about a woman going away for the weekend to a cabin with a couple of friends. They go off into town. She's left alone with a dog. She goes to look for them, and she discovers that there is a literal wall in the countryside that is holding her captive in a certain amount of forest and cabin. But you can't see the wall. She could just touch it, and she can't go through it. So it's this bizarre sort of sci-fi thing, but it's mostly an ode to nature and the resilience of humans.
Right.
And there's a lot of animal life in it, and I sound like a lunatic. You just have to see it. It's really good. It's the most odd premise, but it's based on a book, and it's just like food for the soul, you know. It's a challenging film, but in a wonderful way. You'll never want to type all that up for your website.
Right. Well, what's your favorite movie you've worked on so far?
Oh, you can't make me answer a question like that. You know, probably The Woman, though. Probably The Woman. Because it was so intense.
Right.
And I really love everyone involved. And we made a little fucked up family. So yeah, probably that one. I answered it. You're so naughty.
What's the worst horror movie monster of all time?
Oh, I've got to be very careful here. Worst horror movie monster of all time. Probably the Imp. Isn't it? Probably the Imp. And I just didn't know it because I was so young and impressionable.
Right.
I was scared. I was really scared. But probably the Imp. Imagine.
What's your...
Chucky's pretty ridiculous.
Yes.
I mean, Chucky's pretty ridiculous and daft.
I have so much beef with Chucky. All these people that are scared of him, I'm like, he's a doll.
Yeah, he was scary when you were young. I mean, I remember seeing when I was very young, and he was scary, but I mean, he wasn't menacing looking.
Right. Well, what's
the diversity that was scary?
What's your cheesy guilty pleasure movie?
Oh, Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yes.
Yeah, it is cheesy as all hell, but cheesy in the best way because it's retro cheesy.
Right.
Or funny face as well. But Breakfast at Tiffany's is something I can watch again and again. And the book is why. I mean, the book, I just fell completely in love with the book, and it's quite a bit darker. But, yeah. I don't think anybody should be put in a cage.
That's good.
Don't ask me, darling, parce que je ne sais pas. Anyway.
What do you think about all the remade movies? Do you agree with them or no?
You know, I think if people really are passionate about an idea, they should just go ahead and do it. And, you know, I'm sure half those people are as disappointed as we all are that they ended up so shite. You've got to try, haven't you? I think the studio system in general, you know, it can be a ground for infinite boredom, and just because they audience test the movies so much until there's nothing left of them that's of any interest or anything edgy, you know. When they're trying to make a lot of money from something, they do, of course, produce some wonderful films, and we all grew up with some incredible films, and they continue to do to have a place, but you know, I just think I don't really bother with them, to be honest. If something that I really loved before, then why would I want it ruined? And if it was something I wasn't particularly into before, why would I bother going now? So for me, it's a situation. I don't trust anyone to do a good remake of a film that I love. I think it's a shame that generally in society we live in a way in which we don't sort of recycle, you know,
right,
and make the most of what we already have. And we create so much waste, and I think that doing remakes is just another kind of what's the word for it? Kind of symptom of that, really. It would be very easy if we had belief in the youth of today to re-release a film and really do the press around it and say, hey, you guys have to see this. This is wonderful, and people would go because it would be on the movie theaters, and they would see it, and they would get to experience something truly magical. But we don't have any faith in our audiences, and so we just hope to get in through the name or the press because everyone knows of the movie from before, and then feed, you know, our youth this vial of shite. I think it's a shame.
What's your favorite movie decade for horror movies?
I think always now. Always now. There's always hope in the present.
Oh, that's a good answer.
We've
never heard that before. That's a good one.
Cheers.
I like it. You're giving us a lot of new answers. We hear some of the same answers over and over again.
Oh. It all changes from this point forward.
What is something you've learned from horror movies? Like maybe something you won't do?
Well, I won't run back to the something I won't do. I think what I've learned from horror movies is that everyone is weird and we're all mortal. And I think that's really cool. And I think that's what most horror fans appreciate about horror, is that it brings you back to reality in a sense of like precious time, but it also lets you know that everyone else out there is a freak as well. And of course, you know, the little guy can win, which is cool.
Right.
But it taught me not to do that. I just don't think I'd ever babysit anyone's child in their house alone.
It always ends badly.
Oh, God, yeah.
Well,
don't pick up the phone if you're babysitting. Don't pick up the phone.
Well, thank you so much for spending time with us to be on our show. We really appreciate it. We're so happy to have you on.
Thank you for having me. I'm off to the theatre now.
Oh, well, enjoy.
Theatreland. Thank you. What are you guys off to do?
Nothing really.
Edit this interview so it's not like 5 hours of waffle?
Nope. The rest of my day is pretty boring now.
Well, enjoy it because, you know, a hurricane might be coming.
Right.
Well, thank you guys. And I don't know how I'll get to send it to my dear mama. But maybe shoot me a link or something.
Okay, it'll be up. Since we're such big fans, we wanted to put it up on Christmas, kind of like as a Christmas present for us.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's okay with you, we're going to put it up. I know it's a little ways away, but if that's cool with you, we're going to put it up.
No, it's totally fine.
All right.
Of course.
Well, thank you so much.
Cool.
And we had so much fun. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So did I. Thanks for letting me waffle on. All right, take good care.
You
okay,
too.
have a good day.
Okay, you too. Bye.
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 Hey guys, hope you enjoyed Pollyanna McIntosh on PSYCOW. It's officially time to finally give you the names of the people that won the contest.
All the names are in this hat, and I'm gonna pick the names. So should I start? You see it? Everybody see it? Alright. Should I start with the runners up?
Yes, the runners up for the Woman DVD. Third place.
Third place goes to Armid Jared Zellers.
Yay! All right, second place.
Congratulations, Armin.
We will contact you.
Second. Blah, 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 blah. Kurt how do you say it?
Shila's dad! Yay!
Yay!
guy.
Hey, Mulhausen.
Yeah, sure. I'm terrible pronouncing names, so I'd rather you get embarrassed than me.
Oh.
Okay, first place
winner is...
For the woman DVD, the awesome-ass... Wait, this way. I forgot it's backwards. Lawnmower blade thingy right there. And then the vinyl record.
I got it, and I got the name shown right up on my webcam. Jeremy Loper.
Just wants to make us cry. Yay!
Yay! Here's your lawnmower blade, Jeremy.
Jeremy's our groupie.
Yes.
And that's completely coincidental. We did not rig this at all.
I have it all right here.
All right, so we'll let you guys watch the show, and if you contact us, brownie points.
Yes.
But if you don't contact us in like a day or two, we'll definitely contact you guys. So if we get your information, we will mail the stuff out to you. Thank you so much for entering. Anyone that that entered and didn't win, better luck next time. Sorry. We'll have more cool contests.
Yes, that's not the only one we'll have.
Probably.
So, congratulations, everybody.
Bye. Okay, now check out PSYCOW, the Christmas Special, and Bloody Bits.
Welcome to the Christmas Special for PSYCOW. I'm Stacy.
And I'm Kyle.
And we're going to talk about all things Christmas and all things horror. And when you put the two together, you have an awesome get-together.
Christmas horror.
Yeah.
There's no green, but there is red.
Blood red.
That was the cheesiest thing I've ever said in my life. Yeah, we're going to talk about some awesome horror movies. Actually, we're going to talk about pretty much every horror movie based around not just Christmas in general, but some movies just have Christmas spirit that they didn't mean.
Yeah, and kind of like wintry times.
Yeah, more winter times.
Exactly.
Okay,
so
let's do this shit.
What's the first movie that comes to mind when you think of Christmas?
Santa versus the Martians.
Really?
Have you seen that movie?
I have not seen that.
Don't.
Aww.
It's not even a horror movie. It's just funny to say.
It's true.
When I first saw that title, it's on Netflix, BTW. That one and another one called Santa Claus, where he fights the devil.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, not as great as you think it is.
Sounds like it's great.
I know. Like, when I read the descriptions, like, what? He fights the devil and then he fights Martians? Does not do either. I
will say this. You brave Netflix movies way more than I do. So most of the time I'm like, oh my god, it sounds hilarious. Put it in my instant queue, and then it'll just sit in my instant queue forever.
No, I love watching shitty movies. But
I do too.
We watched the first, 5 minutes, almost put a bullet in our face, and so we just fast forward to the end where he starts fighting things, doesn't fight them. So disappointed. So, not even sure why I brought that one up.
Good. I guess when I think of Christmas, automatically, I go to my childhood, and I think of the cover of this VHS. Scared the shit out of me when I was a little kid.
Black Christmas.
No, even though that's totally understandable. Tales from the Crypt, all through the house.
Oh,
it was on a VHS, and they had 3 different stories on it or whatever. And I remember that fucking Santa Claus on there. It scared the shit out of me all the time. I always rented it because I was scared of it, so I had to have it.
Yeah.
All the time. So I watched it, and I don't know why. It's cheesy as hell watching it now, but
I love it. He has an axe, and apparently he can't figure out how to get in the house, and then at the end, guess what? He does.
And his teeth are fucked.
He did not know what a dentist was. But Black Christmas is probably one of my all-time favorite Christmas movies. I mean, just in general. Not even because of course there's Christmas Vacation and other comedy Christmas movies, but if I'm talking about all the Christmas movies ever made, Black Christmas is probably right up there on the top of the list, because that movie is just fucking amazing.
So, I have to go Silent Night, Deadly Night. That one's fine.
I didn't realize they made 5 of those.
Yeah, there's a lot.
You have Silent Night, Deadly Night, and then you have Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2, and then you have 3, Better Watch Out, 4, the Initiation, and 5, The Toy Maker.
The Toy Maker.
I have not seen any of the sequels.
I have seen 1 and 2, because 2 has the garbage scene in it, where he's taking out garbage and he just shoots that dude or whatever.
I must
just
watch.
Totally blew that for everybody, but
You son of a bitch.
Yeah. Silent Night, Deadly Night, just because the whole entire thing is just hilarious.
I have a cool story about that too, because I was not cool. This might be really lame now that I say that. I was at my friend's house when we were like 10, maybe 8, 9, or 10, and his mom was kind of laid back. I mean, my mom pretty much was too, but she's like, "How about you guys want to watch a horror Christmas movie?" And we're like, "Yay, we're 10!" And so she puts in Silent Night, Deadly Night. Did I tell this story to you?
No.
Okay, good, because I felt like I did. And you know, in the movie, there's like that kind of sort of rape scene or whatever, and her titties all over the place. And she didn't cut it off because, you know, she wants to be the cool person. But I just remember her going to my mom and going, "I apologize, I let him watch Silent Night, Deadly Night, and I completely forgot there's a big pair of titties in there." Exact quote. I was just like, oh my lord.
Oh my god. Have you seen, like, all the people that, like, picketed that movie when it came out?
Because Santa killed.
Yeah. I thought that was hilarious, and people were just so appalled by the fact of what was happening in that, like, the subject matter of that film, that they tried to do anything they could to get it pulled because, you know, Santa's supposed to be a good guy, and my kids are seeing this ad at night, and they're terrified or whatever, and it's like...
You know what I would have said? Santa's fake.
Yeah, take me to go see that movie. That's what I would have said.
Santa's not real on national television.
Christmas Eve is the scariest goddamn night ever.
But yeah, that I would agree with you though. Silent Night, Deadly Night, and Black Christmas and Christmas Evil are the 3 must-watch films.
Christmas Evil, definitely, because I know I've already said this, but it's Fiona Apple's dad.
Yeah.
Plays Santa in that movie.
And also, it's called Christmas Evil.
Exactly. AKA, you better watch out.
Yeah, you better not pout. Because
why.
He will kill you. There's no cola anymore. I will fucking kill you.
So, I mean, those are, like, honestly, I would say the better ones.
Yes.
From where we are going from there. Other than Gremlins.
Yeah, Gremlins is amazing. Like I said, or like we said, it's more, a lot of these movies, because I mean, Gremlins really isn't like a Christmas movie. It's during Christmas, but it's not like it's focused around, you know, the holiday. Right. And some of these movies you're gonna be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Why is this on this list? But just to make it clear, the movies to watch: Christmas Evil, Black Christmas, Silent Night, Deadly Night, and hell, I haven't seen the remake yet, but I'm pretty sure it's awesome because that trailer was pretty cool. And I'm not a bit
of Silent Night.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of remakes. I mean, even the Black Christmas remake wasn't terrible.
I don't think I watched that all the way. I think I shut it off.
He's making fucking cookies with skin. I would eat one. Now let's get to the kind of shittier ones.
Oh, I feel bad saying that because I absolutely love some of them.
Oh, no, I do too, but they are shittier than the other ones.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't say shit, yes.
As soon as Jack Frost hit Netflix, it was like a must-watch. This is in like the middle of summer, and I remember it being super hot outside, and I was like, I just want to sit inside, be cool, and watch movies, and I was like, what better to watch than a fucking Christmas movie when you're hotter than hell?
You never seen one? You never seen Jack Frost before?
No, I saw it when I was way young, but I didn't see it in a long time.
My mom, she loves the Michael Keaton Jack Frost, like the Disney one or whatever it is.
Yeah.
She did, you know, Blockbuster doesn't have the covers or whatever, back when people actually used Blockbuster. And she brought it home, and I had already seen it before. You know, as a kid, I was pretty well versed in horror movies. Right. And she turned it on, and she went, "What the fuck is this? Where's Michael Keaton and the crying?"
Oh my god, the rape scene?
Yeah.
With what's her name? The girl from American Pie?
Shit, what is her name? Keep talking, I'm gonna look it up. I'm doing this.
All I can think about is her arms and him, like, melting into her, but it's snowman rape.
That's the best kind of rape, really. Snowman rape is the only acceptable kind of rape.
You just, kind of melt into them while you're screaming.
Yeah, not like a terrible thing to happen.
No. I mean, seriously, it would melt as soon as it hit your stuff.
Here's the thing, though. If I'm making a Disney-ish kind of movie, who was it? What was her name? Oh, Shannon Elizabeth.
That's it.
Yeah. Anyway, if I'm making, I don't know who did Jack Frost. I'm gonna say Disney just because it seems like a Disney movie, a kids movie. Knowing that a year or two ago they made a horror movie with the same title, not gonna name it Jack Frost.
Yeah. Jack Frost good. Jack Good Frost.
the good Jack Frost.
Exactly.
The not rapey Jack Frost. And
I mean, the snowmen look different, but at the same time, they're very similar too.
Right. One kind of has a mean snarl, but really,
yeah.
Keaton has a mean snarl in general, so it's kind of the same thing.
It's Michael Keaton.
And then they made a sequel for Jack Frost, the horror movie. I saw that a really, really long time ago.
I did too, so I can't say much about it. I know I was really young when I watched it. I can't remember if it's 1 or 2. I want to say it's number 2 is where he gets hit by the snowplow.
I think that happened in both.
And he flies across the screen.
Coincidentally, that also happened in Jack Frost the Kids movie. So many similarities.
I know. I must have stole it. Man, we could make this totally a kids movie.
Talk about elves. I've never seen elves.
Oh god, it's fucking ridiculous.
Yes.
It's got these really kind of bratty kids in it, but at the very beginning they're bratty, but you can't help but laugh at them at the same time. And the elves themselves are pretty.
Rhymes.
They're pretty horrific looking, and that's what drew my attention to them. I saw that movie more recently. I didn't see it when I was younger, but it's one of the random VHSs I picked up, and it's pretty great. It's worth your time if you can find it out. I don't even know if it's on DVD or anything.
Is it the 80s?
Yeah.
Oh, I have seen this. Now that, he looks like the fucking orc from Lord of the Rings. No, you know what he looks like? He looks like Panthro from Thundercats. Kind of. Thundercats! Yeah, I think I have seen this. That monster looks familiar. That's totally going to be the picture for this episode.
Yes.
And the only other one on this list that I haven't seen, actually there's 2. I've never seen Rare Exports. Is that?
I haven't seen it either, but it gets a lot of praise. It's like a Christmas tale or whatever, and I know a lot of people say it could be for kids if it didn't have tits and stuff in it, but I know a lot of people that like it. So that one is on Netflix.
Oh, is it?
I believe so.
I will watch it because Christmas and titties.
It's a newer movie. I think it just came out last year.
Oh, I did see that on Netflix, and it looked awful. So that tells you something. When I can watch a movie called Santa versus the Martians from the 50s, and I can't watch one that says One Hell of a Christmas, not a bad title for a horror movie.
Oh God, One Hell of a Christmas is awful.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about now. Yeah, that movie looks amazing.
One Hell of a Christmas?
Yeah, I'm talking. Yeah, sorry, I just got off topic.
These are that is a Fangoria movie.
Yeah.
Have some holiday spirits. Yeah, I haven't watched that movie in a long time. It's a little rough.
I was looking at the Rare Exports DVD art, and I recognize it from Netflix, but I didn't. I just now realized that Santa Claus in the corner of that DVD.
Is it? I haven't even looked at that.
If you look at it large, all the times I've passed that thing, it's like I never knew it was in the corner. But yeah, I've never seen
Space helmet.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. So here's a better one for you. This is not a Christmas movie per se, but it has a Christmas theme. Gingerbread.
Gary Busey.
Oh, I was like, what the hell just happened? I really love gingerbread.
That's the only thing that the Ginger Dead Man is missing is Gary Busey's teeth.
Yes.
Had the Ginger Dead Man had Gary Busey's teeth throughout the whole entire movie, I will admit I've only seen the first one.
Oh, I've seen all 3.
And I remember when I watched the first one, I was highly intoxicated. So remembering the plot of it, well, I know the plot. It's a killer gingerbread cookie thing.
They have, you can buy the Ginger Dead Man, like, it's like a 13-inch figure, but it's like $200, and I'm like, are you kidding me?
Wow, I feel like I could just bake one.
Yeah, I'll just do that. Ginger Dead Man's awesome. Gary Busey's only in that one. Ginger Dead Man 2, Passion of the Crust, they crucify him. And then, it's so funny. And
Saturday Night Cleaver.
yeah, that one's my favorite, just because it's so fucking stupid. He goes back in time to the 70s.
Oh my god, beautiful.
Well, they make fun of kind of a whole bunch of other horror movies. Like, one girl has like powers like Carrie, and she has like this lady who's like abusive and stuff. And they kind of poke fun of a lot of other horror movies in it. But it's really funny. I liked it. And you have like the typical like drugged out teens, and then they're having sex, and then you have like the girl that's innocent. I mean, they really make fun of a lot of shit.
That's awesome. I'll have to watch that.
Yeah, that's on Netflix.
Do I own that? I might own it.
Have you seen ATM?
No, but I noticed you put that on there, and I heard it was awful.
Yeah, from me. Don't watch it.
What about P2?
I like that movie.
I don't even know what that's about.
P2 is the one where the girl gets trapped in the parking structure, and it ends up that the guy that had locked her in on purpose because he's like obsessed with her. He's been watching her for like years working there, and he dresses up like Santa Claus and like all kinds of shit. It's really, I mean, it's not like the greatest movie ever, but I really did, I mean, I didn't hate it. I think at the time I said I hated it. But thinking back, I like it.
That's how it always goes.
It was full of teenage angst when I said I hated it.
We all went through that phase. You're talking to the girl that in high school shaved off her eyebrows.
Good God, are you Latino?
No, I liked Marilyn Manson a lot.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah.
Worst excuse ever.
It is. It sucked so bad. That way,
Yeah,
now when anybody asks, like my opinion on things, I'm like, you don't want that. Like,
I shaved my eyebrows one time.
you're talking to the girl that shaved off her eyebrows at one point of her life.
You gotta send me a picture.
Oh God, my senior picture, I don't have eyebrows.
Oh my God, that's the one I want. Are you kidding me? That's awesome.
I'm not joking at all.
Yeah, send me that picture.
Oh God, it's so awful.
I don't think you saw this. We were preparing to interview Felissa Rose. She was going to come on the show, but she got really busy and couldn't come on. So hopefully in the beginning of next year. Yeah. But I watched a Silent Night, Zombie Night.
Mhm. It's Trauma, right?
No.
No?
Is it? I didn't think it was. I don't think Trauma did that.
I thought they did.
I'm about to find out. God, this is ridiculous. Silent Night, Zombie Night. No. I don't see where it says Trauma anywhere.
I don't know why I thought it was.
I mean, it should have been.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
I can tell by the cover.
Boom. I'm always right.
Not true.
I was going to say except for when I'm wrong. Not really that great of a movie. I mean, it says it's like starring Felissa, but she's really only in it for like 2 minutes at the end. And they lead into...
really?
Yeah, they lead into a sequel, which she would be more in. It's really, just really boring. Sorry, Felissa. Please still come on our show.
Totally understandable. It's judging by the cover, it's probably, and I know you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but I'd probably be like, no.
So it doesn't matter, this isn't a book.
Yeah, it's a movie.
Yeah, so fuck that. Another Silent Night movie, Silent Night, Bloody Night. I have never seen that, but I think that's the first of the whole Silent Night, something Nights titles. I think it's in the 60s, I want to say.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Maybe even before that. God damn it, I love the internet. Silent
I know.
I saw that, I think, when I was a kid, 1974, yeah. I don't remember anything about it, so I may not have seen it. I don't know. But I'm looking at the cover. I don't think I've seen that movie.
Yeah,
so,
I have to admit, there's like very limited Christmas horror movies that I have seen. I've heard of 98% of these, but well, I've seen most of them. I've seen all the Silent Nights, Silent Night, Deadly Nights. What?
You ready for the best one?
What's that?
Santa Sleigh, starring Bill.
Oh, God.
In the beginning, it has Chris Kattan. I think. Who is it? Oh, Fran Dresser,
Yes.
and she gets her hair on fire. I mean, just in the opening scene alone, I'm like, haha, has me. Now, the story of Santa Slay, S-L-A-Y, not like a riding sleigh, and Bill Goldberg literally is Santa Claus. The
Deadly Santa Claus.
the story is Santa made a deal with a little old guy, and if the old guy won at a match of curling, if you don't know what curling is, that's the somehow it's an Olympic sport where you push that stupid rock thing on ice, scream at your teammates to brush the ice. Yeah, that is a sport. Sounds like my kind of sport because I do not have to run and I get to yell at people. But yeah, so he lost the match to the little old guy, and so now he had to be really nice for however long. It's just ridiculous.
Oh shit!
Like 1,000 years is up, and now he's like wreaking havoc on the world. And the way
I've heard great things about that movie. I don't know why I missed it.
I own it. I bought it on a whim because I was like, Bill Goldberg is Santa Claus. And like James Caan's in the beginning of it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's like they're having a Christmas dinner. It's like James Caan, Chris Kattan, Fran Dresser, and there's some other people there, but I don't know. I know Emily DeRaven's in it from like Lost and stuff, and she's pretty cool. But anyway, they're having like Christmas dinner, and he like comes down the chimney and just fucking sets one of them on fire and like just kills them. It's so funny.
He's had it.
Not the best Christmas movie ever, but it's really funny. And then the last one is Don't Open Till Christmas. I've never seen that one.
I haven't seen that either. I know the cover exactly when I see it.
Yeah.
Like when you say it, I can see the cover, but I know I haven't seen that movie.
I think it's funny we saved that one for last because we have never seen it.
We're both like, nope, I haven't seen
Well, just to recap, check out Christmas Evil, definitely. Black Christmas, Silent Night, Deadly Night.
1 through 5.
Oh, God, no. Just stick with the first one. Maybe the second one. Jack Frost is always a funny one, especially Jack Frost and Ginger Dead Man. If you have a group of people over, your family or whatever, and you want to watch a movie and laugh together, those are really fun. And Santa Slay.
Elves. If you can find elves as well, that's worth it as well.
Santa Slay, Gremlins, and then Tales from the Crypt all through the house. That's probably the creepiest one on the list.
That's my creepy one.
Black Christmas scared the shit out of me.
That's because it is terrifying.
Oh, thanks. That's because it's terrifying, dumbass.
No, that cover, that scene with the plastic over the face.
Yeah, like the whole movie, she's just up there, chilling out.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Sorry, we blew it.
And then P2, if you want like a good kind of I don't even know what's psychological, just one of those
modern,
stereotypical modern horror movies. Yeah. Yeah, I mean you're gonna get the ending and everything. It's not like it's a masterpiece, but it's not bad.
Right.
So what are you doing for Christmas?
Me?
Yeah.
Getting drunk.
Me too. I'm having naked Christmas.
Just kidding. I'm not getting drunk.
Man, for real.
I have to drive. But, no, I'm gonna go to my parents' house and spend the day with my parents, eat lots of good food, and probably watch some movies, like we do every year.
I think our Christmas is going to be really laid back this year because we don't have anybody to worry about. We have both of our sides of the family are just kind of doing their own thing. So it's the first Christmas we have to ourselves, so I have designated this Christmas to be Naked Christmas.
Yes.
I'm going to be butt-ass naked all day. And I have a freezer full of food, whether it's corn dogs, chicken, steak. I have sausage in there. Everything you can think of is in the freezer. I'm just going to cook every single thing in the freezer and have naked Christmas.
Oh my god, that sounds amazing. Honestly, I mean, we have like separate Christmases. I already did my boyfriend's side of the family. We did all the Christmas stuff there, and me and my sister did all the Christmas cookies today. And then tomorrow's kind of like an off day. And then Christmas morning, we'll probably get up at like 6 o'clock in the morning and go to my parents' house.
Ugh, God, why so early?
'Cause it's Christmas! I don't know. I never sleep. I always have Freddy Krueger fucking coming through my door on Christmas Eve, so I can't sleep. That's a previous PSYCOW reference, just so everybody knows.
Yeah, go back to episode 2.
Bloody Bits.
Of Bloody Bits. Speaking of that, this is the last episode of Bloody Bits. We decided that we are going to make PSYCOW into just one show where we have an interview one week, and the following week it will be like a Bloody Bits kind of thing where we just kind of chit-chat and discuss horror movies, and then, alternate the shows from there. So it's just easier to do, right?
It is.
And
definitely, and we're both working. I got school. It's easy for us.
Yeah, and Bill Goldberg is Santa Claus.
Yeah.
So, thanks so much for checking out the Christmas special. Hope we gave you some good movie references. We pretty much referenced all of them, but hopefully...
Yeah, and I know there's more out there, definitely. So if you have suggestions for us as well, let us know. We're always down for that.
Jeremy.
Yes.
You want to make us cry and you want to recommend movies we're never going to watch. Sorry. I'm not watching Red Lights, Jeremy.
Red Lights.
Yes,
Oh,
I don't even know. It has Robbie D in it, though. I know that much.
I know that, too. I know that much is true.
Oh, God. All right, so on behalf of PSYCOW and JuCow's Podcast Kingdom and Christmas and Bill Goldberg as Santa Claus and fuck eggnog, I'm Kyle.
I'm Stacy.
Have a good Christmas.